Everybody shut up and action. Is Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning a good movie? Yeah, it is. Alright, so Mission Impossible movies are action-packed, spy-style movies following Ethan Hunt trying to solve some kind of problem happening in this world in the shadows. Like there's a mission that he has to save the world from some kind of thing happening, and he has to save it without anyone ever recognizing him for it, no one ever knowing that the threat even exists. And if he's caught and fails, the government will just say, he was not one of ours. We don't know what he was doing. He's a terrorist. So yeah, like it is a thankless job, and it is one that he takes on because that's the choice he was given, and he took it on. And in this movie, it is an action-packed beauty. We're following the story continuing off from Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning, and Dead Reckoning is one of my favorite action movies just in general. I fell in love with it back in 2023. It's one of the only Mission Impossible movies I've seen, and I know I want to watch all the Mission Impossible movies. I don't know why I haven't yet, but I'll get there. There's a lot of movies I want to watch. But yeah, Dead Reckoning was amazing. I have been absolutely hooked. I fell in love with the entire story. I fell in love with everything about it, because Dead Reckoning came at a time where AI is just entering prominence. Like 2022, AI came into fruition, ChatGPT emerged, and of course there's a lot of concerns of seeing how we've seen it in movies and media for a long period of time. Of course, concerns surrounding AI will happen, and of course, with laws emerging slowly surrounding AI, people have concerns with how it's going to affect their lives. And this is a movie that's describing the story of AI gaining sentience level intelligence and operating on its own, wanting to destroy the human race or something or the other. And that the AI's. This is the second half of the movie. The first half movie, Dead Reckoning, was its own complete film. Something you don't see from sequel films these days is that the first film is its own standalone film and can work on its own, and the second film can do the same. Dead Reckoning was a beauty. Unlike half of what Marvel's been doing, or Dune's been doing, or a bunch of other movies have been. No, not Marvel. Marvel did it fine with Infinity War and Endgame. It's mainly Dune and a couple other movies. Oh yeah, Spider-Man after Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse and Beyond the Spider-Verse. They messed it up, in my opinion. I mean, Beyond the Spider-Verse isn't out yet, but like, I'm annoyed because Across the Spider-Verse ended in a way that it just didn't feel like a complete movie. But you can watch Across the Spider-Verse talk for that. But like, in this movie, Dead Reckoning was a beauty of a film. I was satisfied at the end. It was an amazing film in general, and this movie picks up where it left off. It can work as a standalone film. If you haven't seen the first movie, you can still catch up on everything instantly in this movie, and it was just a beauty of a hook, and this movie was just gorgeous from that standpoint, following Ethan Hunt trying to chase down this AI to try and get its source code to try and see if he can stop it while facing a bunch of threats who want to try and take control of the AI instead of killing it. And it's an entire race to see which country will get to the AI first, how will they discover the AI's location, and will any country, will the AI win, humans win, will Hunt win? Like, there's so many different factors that play in trying to stop the AI's goal. The AI is taking over all the nuclear armories of every country that has nuclear arms. So there's also the race of, should a country nuke another country as a preeminent strike to make sure that the nuclear weapons aren't used by the AI to destroy humanity. There are so many factors that play in this movie that you are hooked just from the anxiety alone. Yes, you like, while you're watching this movie, you're like, of course, Ethan Hunt, he has plot armor. Like, of course, everything's gonna go fine, I don't have to worry. But like, the way that a film is made, you can't help but be at the edge of your seat, going like, come on, no, yes, let's go. No. Like, you are hooked. You are anxious. You're on the edge of your seat going like, I don't know if he will survive or not. And like, that's the beauty of these movies. You know they have plot armor, but the way that they are cinematically framed, the shot angles, the rapid technique of cutting all these scenes and merging them together to express one entire sequence to create the scene in general. Each shot being cut up in fast pace, slow pace here, using sound to ramp up the intensity. Like, these are things you kind of pick up when you're watching movies and you know it's there, but like, you don't get appreciated enough until you actually just invest time into thinking how a basic sequence of shots can be put together and created in such a manner to create intensity in a scene that it's going to turn out in one way, and you don't expect to have any feelings evoked within you. But when a certain set of sound design is used and edited in a specific manner, with a mix of like wide, beautiful scene shots with close-ups, with action shots, with cut on action shots, and all those other types of shots, you don't hold enough appreciation until you actually just think about it and see how the film makes you forget about the plot armor and all that entirely, and makes you forget that, yeah, the protagonist needs to live, the protagonist needs to die, and makes you actually fall in love with the story and seeing what's happening on screen without thinking about what you know will happen, and just immerse into the moment, evoking a variety of feelings from within you surrounding uncertainty of what will happen, with the illusion that something could actually happen. Yes, this movie has me hooked. I really love the story. Yeah, I felt like while the story was amazing, it felt like it was a little long, and that at certain points it felt like it was more action in general without like storytelling behind it. Like, yeah, like in John Wick, it's like a movie where it's just all action, but the story's being told through the action, and there's minimal dialogue to guide where what the action is meant for. And this movie, it's kind of similar, where I mean there's a lot more dialogue, but like it's just heavy on the action. Yes, all the action is exciting and thrilling, and this movie feels like the action is reaching points where it's just all action to show cool sequences and not just like actually tell the story through the action too. But that was just very minimal, but like it is noticeable. And then like there are times where the action just leads you like, oh my god, what's gonna happen next? How's he gonna survive? And you're just like, huh? That made zeros. Didn't what? Like, there are moments where you're just completely confused on what has just happened, and like the scenes contradict what was said, and you're like, just in confusion. Maybe I missed something, or maybe I'm just confused. But like, I feel like when you're watching the movie, it's more like you're not paying attention to that tiny detail. But like when you're just walking out of the theater and just contemplating how amazing the movie was, just these tiny details stick out in your head, and you're just like, that made no sense actually. Oh wait, didn't he just say that? What? And you're just completely lost in like how some sequences happen, how some things happen, and you're just like, confused on that. But like the beauty is when you're watching the movie, you're so hooked that you don't even notice that there's completely blatant plot errors, because the movie has you so immersed and hooked to the story and everything happening on screen. But then when you take a minute to think, there are just some things that are just kind of like, yeah, that made no sense, and that's kind of dumb. But like, maybe that could also be because I missed something, but I don't think I missed anything, because people I went and watched with, they didn't notice it either, so they noticed the same thing either too. So it's like, yeah, there are moments where it's like, what the hell, that made no sense. But you know, I'm not here to question that. I'm just there to watch a good movie, and I enjoyed it. There are some shots in this movie that are absolutely stunning. I really liked watching it. It's a movie to watch in IMAX for sure. The shots, the scenes, action, everything is beautiful. It is action-packed. It has you hooked. I highly recommend you watch Dead Reckoning 1, because that movie was amazing in general and really gives a good lead up to this one, and has you more hooked. But if you don't want to watch that movie, you're lost. But this movie you can watch without it, and you know, it'll be a good movie regardless. I give this movie a solid 82%. I loved it, and that is Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Peace.